Hey Disney fam, welcome to Enchanted Rita. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a very magical day today. If you are new to my channel, I'm going to be doing a Q&A today so you guys can get to know me. And if you are a returning subscriber, then you may know a little bit about me, but today we're going to go into some good stuff so you'll really get to know me. I do post Disney content Tuesdays through Thursdays and bonus video on the weekends, anything dog, home, or DIY related. So I'm sure there'll be something here for you. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified anytime a new video of mine is uploaded. All right, I asked the community questions that they wanted to know and I'm gonna answer them today. So let's get into this. I'm not gonna talk much more because I got a lot of questions from you guys and questions I also just came up with. So here we go. First question is, how old are you? I am 28. I feel like I'm still feel like I'm like 21, like 24. Maybe not 21, but like 24. I can't believe I'm 28. But yes, I'm 28. There it is. Thank you, whoever asked that question. I'm so happy you asked that question. Next question is, how long have I been married? I have been married, so this year in May will mark my 3-year marker being married, but I have dated my husband. This year actually will be 10 years. 10 years marks our dating anniversary, April 12th. So that is super exciting. Okay, there's one question that was asked quite a bit of times from you guys, and if you've been watching my channel, you'll totally understand it. And I'm gonna wait for this question a little bit later down the line. So let's just skip this one first. You guys are gonna love it. Anyways, why do I live in California? She's asking more like, do I work here, or like, was born here? So I was born in California, born and raised Cali girl here. I grew up about 30 minutes away from Disneyland, and now I currently live about 45 minutes away from Disneyland. So I'm still fairly close to the Disneyland park. Next question is, what made you love Disney so much? That's a really good question. It's funny. So my parents are not from here. They were born and raised in Europe and, you know, another country. So Disney was definitely not like predominant in there for them. And when they came here, us also, again, like, it's not like they ever worked at Disney. They didn't really ever go to Disneyland. But once they had me, they decided to take me when I was little, and I've gone almost every year, at least once a year when I was little until now. So I grew up with Disney. My parents just kind of gave me that opportunity, right? I mean, I'm so close to the parks, and we had the financial means to take me there, because no matter what, Disneyland has always been, I guess, kind of expensive. I mean, depending on your, you know, social or economic state, but I did have the opportunity to always go to Disney. So I grew up with Disney, and that was, I think, where my love came from. And it's funny because even my mom and dad, they like kind of joke with me. They're like, you love Disney a lot. And my mom and dad never like instilled Disney on me much. Like, they didn't, you know, bombard me with a tons of Disney toys. Like, actually, when I grew up, I played with Barbies like 99% of the time, like nothing really Disney related. But somehow I just always loved Disney. I just loved that magical spirit, the magic of it, everything. I just loved everything about it. So I guess that's what made me love Disney. Just going to the parks all the time when I was little and having that opportunity. What made you decide to start a YouTube channel? Oh, this is gonna be like a video on its own. So I actually started a YouTube channel a few years ago that was totally unrelated to Disney. So I would say probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I always felt like I would watch YouTube videos and I was like, you know, this looks so fun. Like, to get on camera, just to talk to people and just to build some kind of a community and, you know, talk with people who are like-minded. And so I started a couponing channel, and that's what I did. I looked out for couponing deals for people, because your girl is a couponer. I'm not as much anymore because I don't have the time. It is time consuming to coupon like I used to, but I was a huge hardcore couponer. Like, I had a stockpile, I had a whole shelf of just stocks of everything, and so I was like, I'm gonna share it with people. So I started that, and I wasn't fully into it, and I knew it's not what I really wanted. So I kind of died out and I stopped, and then I did a little bit of like so we bought our first house, me and my husband, and I wanted to kind of vlog our update because we got a little bit of a fixer-upper, and my husband he did so much work to this house. I helped, but he did most of the work. And so I wanted to film that, which I did, and I actually do have it up on my channel on really old videos. So I did that, and then, but there was still a part of me that was like, I really want to do Disney content. I just love Disney. I love going to the parks, and I just love it in general, and I was like, I feel like that's where my passion is, and I feel like I'd have the most fun if I did that. So I tried it once, and work and life kind of got in the way. I actually had a really big like health problem 2-3 years ago, and so that kind of stopped me. And then finally I told my husband, you know, when I started my channel, which was last year in, I think, September-ish, September of 2018, I was like, you know what, I really want to have a channel. Like, I would just like feel it in my heart. Like, I'd sleep and I would think about it, or I'd wake up or I think about it, or I'd be driving and I think about it. I'm like, no excuses, like, I want to do this. And so luckily my husband is so supportive, and he totally was well, he wasn't totally on board. The first thing he told me was, okay, you tried a lot and you keep stopping, so I don't really know. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And I remember the first couple of videos I filmed, I didn't even like tell him about it. I was like, I'm just gonna start filming, and I'm just gonna do it myself because I really feel like I need to do this. And then I think he saw that I was like serious, like I was doing this, so he got really into it and he supported me, and here we are now. So that was a very long explanation, but that actually, I don't even think I answered the question. The question was, what made you decide to? So my main reason was, yes, trying to build a community. I love that. Talking with like-minded people, that is the main reason. Next question, how many times have you been to Disney World? I have been to Disney World 2 times. I know that's like, so like not a lot of times, only 2 times. I feel like I've been there a lot more, but no, it's only been 2 times. I went the very first time on our honeymoon, which was half Walt Disney World and then half the Dominican Republic. So that was really, really fun. And then the second time was the year after our honeymoon. We went for Food and Wine Festival because I love Food and Wine Festival, and I was like, I need to at least go 1 time to Walt Disney World for food and wine, and we made that happen. So those are the 2 times. And the first time for our honeymoon was during the Flower and Garden Festival, and I loved it. It was beautiful. And that's actually going on right now. So really, really nice. Next question is, do you have a distinct memory of Disney? Oh, this is hard because I've been to Disney a lot, and I'm trying to think of like a memory, like a really distinct memory of one time, but I'm trying to think. I mean, when we went for our honeymoon to Walt Disney World, I remember that so clearly, like everything. I loved doing, me and my husband did like the eating around the world challenge in Epcot. We didn't do drinking around the world because we're not big drinkers, but we did the eating around the world, and that was really, really fun. We also ate at tons of really good restaurants there, and I remember that. But as far as like a really distinct memory, I'm trying to think. I went with friends, obviously, and I had a really great time. I remember going when I was really little with like my best friends, who are still my best friends to this day. And I remember those times, but as far as like one distinct memory, not really. They're all good memories. That's just what it comes down to. Did you grow up with Disney? And I did answer that. Yes, I did. I went to the parks, you know, pretty much yearly. I didn't grow up in a sense where like we were DVC members. Like I said, my mom and dad were not really into Disney. So it was something that purely struck out of myself. Like no one influenced me to like Disney, because even other like cousins or aunts and uncles, not Disney fans really at all. So and till this day, I'm still, out of my whole entire family, I am still the Disney freak. Everyone knows me as Rita Loves Disney because none of my family cared that much for Disney. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading here. Oh man, the lighting, you guys, I'm sorry. The sun is coming out, then there's clouds, and then the sun is coming out. So I'm sorry if like my face is glowing right now. Okay, so the next question is favorite Disney movie. This is really hard for me because I don't know how people pick like a favorite Disney movie. I really like a lot of Disney movies, but I'm gonna go based off of one newer movie and one classic movie. So a newer movie that I guess I'm considering as a favorite because I watched it literally over and over and over again for so long is Moana. It's beautiful. I love the whole story of it. I love that she's so fearless and brave, and she's I just love the movie. It's great, and it's another one of those Disney movies that she didn't need a man in her life, you know, for like true romance and all of that. So it was awesome. I love that movie. The music, the scenery, everything is beautiful. And as far as a classic movie goes, I have to say Lady and the Tramp, because I don't know which video I said it in, but my love for dogs is deep, you guys. I literally had dog posters all over my wall when I was little. I didn't have bands up. That's like how strong my love is for dogs. So Lady and the Tramp for sure. Next question is least favorite Disney movie. This is hard because I was like, wow, I mean, I like all Disney movies pretty much. And then I couldn't pick ones I haven't seen. So there's a few Disney movies I have not seen, especially really old Disney movies or very unpopular Disney movies. There's some that I have not seen, but I can't say it's my least favorite because I haven't seen the movie. So I had to think of a Disney movie that I've seen that I don't like. And I'm gonna go with The Haunted Mansion, the one with Eddie Murphy, and where he's like a realtor and they go to the house. I love Haunted Mansion, but I just don't think they made the movie right. They didn't represent Haunted Mansion right with that movie. Like, the story wasn't fully there for me. I really wish they make a Haunted Mansion movie that is much more to the ride and to the story of it, to the books. Like, I really hope they remake the Haunted Mansion better, because I did not like the Haunted Mansion. I still watch it just because it's a Disney movie, it's Haunted Mansion, and I'll watch it, but I would say it's probably one of my least favorite Disney movies. Best thing about having a YouTube channel, that is you guys. That is the best thing. I love talking with you guys. You don't understand how much fun it is for me and how warming it is for me that we can communicate and chat on the bottom about things that we both like. To be completely honest, in the real world, real life, I don't have a lot of friends because life gets in the way. I mean, all I do is go to work, come home, go to work, come home, clean my house, be with Cornelius. Like, I don't really have a lot of time to meet new friends. I have friends from when I was like 5 years old, my best friends, still my friends to this day, and they will always be, even if I only see them once every 6 months, those girls are my ride or dies for life. So yes, I do have friends like that, but as far as like new friends or friends that have like the most common interest with me, it's very rare. I feel like it's so hard to find, or hard to find the time to meet them maybe as well. So that's the biggest thing, is just communicating with you guys and building a community and just chatting with you guys. That's the best part. Let's see here. Where am I? When do you usually film? So just really quick, a lot of these questions are from Rowan from the Disney Damsel. So thank you so much, Rowan, for asking these questions, because they're really good questions and I'm going to answer them all. So, because she was like, you don't have to answer them all. And like, no, I'm going to answer them all for you. When do you usually film? I normally film on Saturdays. My husband really is like, you need to start filming on the weekdays, because it, you know, cuts into our weekends, and that's the only time I have time to do things. So I try to film once during the week somewhere, but it typically becomes Saturdays. So Saturdays is when I usually film. And then, do you work? And if I work, is it hard to juggle that and YouTube? So yes, I do work. I am an HR administrator for a pharmaceutical company, and it is really cool. Actually, I actually enjoy my job. I like where I work because it's so different, and it's an industry that I thought I would never work in. Like, it's literally like what you see in the movies, you guys. Like, it's a lab. People are like chemists, and it's really cool. But I don't do any of that fun stuff. I just do HR. So I deal with, you know, people's problems and all of that fun stuff. So I do work full time, and I'm very lucky to say that I have a working schedule that's kind of a little bit different than a normal like 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, whatever, you know, schedule, like where people get off work at like 5 o'clock. I actually get off at 3:30. I go into work at 7 in the morning and I get off at 3:30, and I get home by like 4:30. I do have about an hour commute. So I feel like I'm pretty lucky, because if I got off work at 5, I wouldn't be home till like 6:30, because the later it gets, the more traffic there is. And then I feel like at that point I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I feel like I'm pretty fortunate that I have a schedule like that. And then plus I can do some stuff right when I get home. So that is the long question. Oh, and as far as juggling YouTube and that, Rowan, this is a question you asked me. Girl, it is not easy, because working full time, all I want to do is come home. I don't even want to cook half the time, but I do. I try to cook almost every single day. So I really try to do that. So, because I enjoy cooking, but I'm also tired. So sometimes I'm like, babe, I really don't want to cook today. But I really try to cook every single day. I grew up that way. My mom and dad, my mom cooked, but my dad actually used to be a chef. Anyways, my dad cooks sometimes too. So I grew up where we ate dinner, home cooked meal every single night. So I'm used to that. So all I want to do is come home, cook dinner, eat, and then chill. But obviously that's not the case because I have to edit videos. I have to figure out Instagram photos. I am still trying to get a hang of this whole social media thing, you guys. Like, I'm not all up in there. In the know of everything. It's so funny. Jessie from Miss Cherry's channel, we'll talk sometimes and she'll tell me about these apps and I'm like, oh my God, like, how do I not know about these things? Like, that's how bad I am. So thank you girls for keeping me up to date and on my toes, but it is hard to juggle. So I do work full time and I'm doing YouTube and somehow it's happening. Somehow I'm still alive. I don't even know how you girls who have kids do it because that's a whole other story. I mean, I have Cornelius who's like my child and I have to take care of him, but that is nothing to like a real child. So props to you girls who have kids and do it because I don't even know how I'm gonna do that. Next question is favorite Disney park. I would have to say Disneyland, you guys. It's my home park. I love it. I love Disneyland so much. I don't know how it's going to be with the new Star Wars land coming up, but I have to go with Disneyland. As far as Walt Disney World, I love Epcot and I love Animal Kingdom, but if I have to pick one favorite Disney park, I will have to go with Disneyland. Do I have any siblings? Nope. I am the only child and it's so funny. I've done they have like Myers-Briggs test. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like personality traits. Anyways, there's different personality traits and I have a personality trait of people who actually have siblings. Most only children, they don't like to share. They're very they're not really competitive and things of that nature, but I have a very much of a personality of like a sibling child, like if I had a sibling. So it's kind of funny, but no, I am the only child. What was the first pair of ears that you've ever made? So I brought them here and you know what? They actually came out pretty cute. So this was probably I don't know, maybe 4 years ago I made these, or maybe 3 years ago. 3 years ago I was I watched videos and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I can make those. I feel like I can do it and you better believe I hand sewed all this. I didn't have a sewing machine. I just picked up some fabric and I was like, let me just try making them. And so I made them. I made these ears right here. These are the first pair of ears I ever made. And you know, it's funny. So I see a lot of girls and I feel like, not even girls or guys, whoever makes Mickey or Minnie ears, I feel like everyone does the regular bows that you just fold and scrunch and you know, they're not the puffy kind of bows. And I just love the puffy bows, so that's what I do. See, Disney official park ears, I know now they don't always do that, but I feel like originally they always had the puffy bow and I love the puffy bow. So I really wanted to make the puffy bow and there's not really any tutorials out there on how to make the puffy bow. So I literally just tried it on my own. I was like, I'm just gonna try this out and see if it comes out. So I think for my first pair of ears, they are not bad. They're not as puffy as I like. I put very little, to be honest, I don't even know what I put in here. I don't remember. I don't think I bought batting, the filling. I don't think I did. I don't really know what I put in here. I can't remember. But here's the bow. It's not the best, and you can see flaws, but I did line it still. Look at me on my first try. I was like, I'm still gonna try to line it. And then here's the back. I didn't cover the back, but I feel like it's actually done pretty nicely. I feel like my first pair of ears were pretty good, almost better than some of the ears I make now. But yeah, these were my first pair of ears, so they're really cute. I do have, and the reason why I chose this print was I do have a dress it's black and it has Mickey heads all over it that's in the cheetah print. I've worn it I think once before and I have pictures on my Instagram of me wearing it, and so I wanted a pair of ears to kind of match that dress. So that's why I made these. That is the first pair of ears I ever made. And honestly, I haven't really made that many ears. I think I've maybe made a handful. I would say I know more than 10 pairs of ears I've made since I've made ears. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my phone because I had some on paper, but let me go to my phone really quick to answer some more questions. Where are we at? Oh my God, I'm at 20 minutes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the next question is, I think you were a cast member at one time. Can you tell us what you did and your experience? This literally can be a video all on its own, but I'll try to give you guys the shortest answer I can give you. So I applied to be a PhotoPass member because I just wanted to get my way into Disney. And so I applied and I actually got hired on the spot. Like I interviewed and they hired me right then and there, or they offered me a position, but they actually offered me a position as an attractions cast member instead of a PhotoPass cast member. So I still took it. I didn't care. And you know what's so funny? This is how much I love Disney. I was actually assistant manager at GNC when I took this job, and it paid like probably a few dollars more, but still a few dollars is a few dollars more than this position at Disney. But I still took the Disney position because I was like, I need to get my foot in there. So took it to motion pretty much, and I went to Disney. It worked out fine for me because I was going to school at the time, so it worked really nicely with my schedule for the most part. I worked a lot of nights at Disney, and I went to school during the day, so it worked out pretty well. And Disney does do a lot of, like, they base their hours a lot on seniority. So in the beginning you work the crappiest hours, which is usually the night shift because people want the morning shift. So it worked out fine for me during the time that I was in college. So anyways, I started off working at the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, which a lot of people don't know about. Actually, before I did that, I just worked World of Color. Because in the beginning you just work like guest services. So I literally did World of Color and like the Pixar Pier Parade. So stuff like that. It was just like guest interaction, making sure people are not jumping out of the, you know, while the parade and the floats are going by, stuff like that. And then finally I got an attraction, which was Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. And I literally dressed up as like a ranger, and it was all Up theme, which I love the movie Up. So it was really fun to do that. And we had like Kevin noises, and we had Russell come out and Doug come out, so it was really fun. If you guys don't know what that is, because a lot of people surprisingly didn't know what it was, they always thought it was like another entrance to the Grand Californian, which it is not, but it's very close to it. It's basically like a jungle gym for kids. There was rock climbing, there was slide, there was like a tire swing thing that they did. It was really cool for kids to do. So if you're ever in California Adventures and you have kids that like to be really active and climb and stuff like that, great place to go. So at that point I really wanted to work the Little Mermaid ride because one, their costumes were actually really cute and it looked pretty good on me, because some of the costumes are so unflattering at Disney, especially for a plus size girl. Like if you're thin, everything looks pretty much good on you, but the Little Mermaid one was pretty flattering. Like it hid like certain areas, and it was good. So anyways, that was one, but the biggest thing was I'm in California. It's like 80 to 90 to 100 degrees outside, and the Little Mermaid is in AC. So yes, I wanted to be in there. So I finally got my request to be there, and so I worked Little Mermaid a lot, and everything's based on seniority. So people have been there for like years, so they would always get shifts. So in the beginning it was hard to get Little Mermaid shifts, but as I grew my seniority there, I got a lot of Little Mermaid shifts, which was awesome. And if you guys know the Little Mermaid ride, it's just like the Haunted Mansion where you're like walking on a treadmill because it's like constantly going. So we were clocking in quite a few miles, so it was nice to get my exercise in as well. So I worked the Little Mermaid, and then towards the end of my time there, I worked Cars Land Fast Pass, because the Fast Pass was so crazy for Cars Land, like the Radiator Springs racers, it was so crazy, the Fast Pass for that. They needed literally a whole crew to manhandle the Fast Pass. Now I don't think there's really any cast members helping out with the Fast Pass. I think it's died down pretty much. But yeah, the first like year or two, it was crazy, that Fast Pass line. So I worked that a lot, and it was really early shifts. I think like 6 a.m. shifts. So it was really nice. Came in, left, and it worked with my school schedule still, which was good. As far as experiences, I had a really good experience working there for the most part. I met thousands of people, and I mean thousands of people. And I'm not talking about just people I worked with. I mean like the guests. So I literally talked to maybe 100 to 500 people within one shift. So it was really cool. And one other experience I'll tell you now, because I was so used to working in a small place. You know, I worked at GNC, if you know what that is, like a vitamin store. It was literally me and like one other girl working there. Like we saw like, I don't know, 20 people the whole day. So when I transferred into Disney, obviously I was around thousands of people all day, and I was sick, no joke, like for a whole year. I would get sick, I'd get a little bit better, and I'd get sick and I'd get a little better, because there's tons of germs at Disney. And I mean, it's not like I was nasty and, you know, touching everything and eating, but people would sneeze, or they'd walk by, or tons of people would talk to me, whatever the case was. I just constantly got sick. My immune system was like, what the heck is all this coming from? And now, like, I hardly get sick, because I think my immune system is like so strong. I've seen it all. Like, my immune system has seen it all. So that was one experience that it was bad, but I guess it was kind of good, because now my immune system is better. But I got so sick like the first year I worked there. And I'm talking about like a cold sick, not like stomach or anything. Just constantly like sneezing, coughing, stuff like that. So that was not fun. And then as far as experiences, pretty good. There's some bad as well, but I'm not going to go too much into it. For the most part, I had a good experience. I really want to get into their HR department, and that was the main reason why I stuck around for so long, for not the greatest pay. And I unfortunately just at a certain point I was like, all right, I gotta go, because I can't be here forever. You know, I'm not gonna be an attractions cast member forever. So the attractions cast member position, I'll tell you right now, does not support a California lifestyle. I will tell you that. So I have to get out. All right, that's that question. If you guys want more details about me being a cast member, I can totally do another video on that. All right, let's pull up the questions again. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Which Disney movie have you never watched? So there's, I guess, kind of a few that I've never watched, but just to name a few, that's pretty sad, right? I should have watched a lot more, but I haven't actually seen Fantasia. I've seen parts of Fantasia, but I've never seen the full Fantasia movie. I've never seen Robin Hood. I've never seen, I think it's called The Black Cauldron. Now, these are like old school movies I haven't seen. I've seen the Goofy movie. I'm trying to think of any other movies. I think Fantasia is one of the big ones that are like, you haven't seen it, so I would say that one. There's a few I haven't seen. I think Meet the Robinsons I haven't seen either. How many Disney movies do you own? I own probably about like, maybe like 35 to 40, around there. How did you and your husband meet? Okay, we'll go to the hubby questions again. So there's this one, then I'll answer the burning question that came up on my YouTube community tab. So how did we meet? This is a good question. So this is going to be the shortest version again, because I can go on. So I was talking to this one guy, and we were kind of talking, not really like dating wise, but we were just talking kind of like friends. And anyways, okay, so the guy like worked with my husband, this guy that I was talking to worked with my husband, and he would tell Robert, that's my husband's name, Robert, about me, and he like would tell me, can I give this guy your number? And I even thought, I'm like, that's kind of weird, like, aren't we kind of talking? I mean, we were, okay, right? So I was like, aren't we kind of talking? But I was like, no, like, I don't know what you're telling him, like, why does he want my number? Like, no. So that was like the first time. Then he asked me like a month later, hey, like, can I give this guy your number? Like, I think, you know, whatever he said, like, he really wants your number. And I was like, no, like, I kept saying no. So literally, finally, like 4 or 5 months later, he asked me again, like, hey, you know, it's so funny too, like, you would think that a guy would just give a girl, like, a girl's number, right? Like, yeah, here's her number. The fact that he didn't give him my number is, like, very interesting to me. So anyways, finally, I was like, you know what, fine, give the poor guy, the poor soul, my number, because this guy's been, like, on it for 6 months, and he's consistent and he's persistent, so let's just give this guy a shot. So, gave him my number, and then my husband, him at the time, texted me, I remember, and it was the day before Easter. He texted me, and I remember I was at Universal Studios at a birthday party, and I was kind of like texting. I felt really bad, like I'm at this birthday party, but you know how it is when you first start talking to a guy, you're like, you want to give him like all your attention, and you're just like talking. Yeah, that's how we were. So we talked a lot, we met up, blah, 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 and there's that. And it's just really funny because, so the guy that I was like talking to or whatever that gave Robert my number, as soon as he like found out that we were dating, he stopped talking to the both of us. Like, he got pissed off or mad or whatever, and never talked to Robert again, and never talked to me. So it was really weird. It's like, you're the one that kept pushing for, you know, like me to let you give him my number, and now all of a sudden you like hate on us, like whatever. Yes news, you lose. So I'm with my husband now. So that is how we met. So not the most romantic story, but hey, it worked out. Let's see, next question. Okay, so now that we're talking about the hubby, let's answer this burning question. So on the Disney YouTube community post I did, I got a question that said, why is your hubby always on the floor? And I was dying when I read this question, and then like everybody below her was like, yeah, why is your hubby on the floor? We gotta know, why is he on the floor? So here is the answer for all of you ladies wanting to know why the hubby's on the floor. So one, he's actually not always on the floor. Sometimes he like crawls in because he doesn't want to mess up our lighting, because I have a light box like right over here. So if he wants to like pass by behind the camera, he just crawls on the floor so he doesn't ruin it, you know, the lighting. So that's why he starts off on the floor. But obviously Cornelius is so low to the floor that he's got to be on the floor. And Cornelius, if you're not giving him love and attention, he cries, he howls, he needs all the love. So my hubby is down there with him just taking care of our son, you know, our fur baby. They like, you guys wouldn't believe it, like as I'm recording and showing you stuff, him and Cornelius are like wrestling down there. So it's pretty funny. I have like my own like WWE show while I'm filming for you guys. So that is the main reason why he's down there. He plays with Cornelius. He obviously supports my channel, which is really, really nice. So he likes to kind of watch me film, and he checks to make sure lighting is okay. He, you know, if, I don't know, something looks off on me, maybe he'll tell me. Usually he never catches any of that stuff. He never catches if like something's in my teeth or my hair looks weird or I have some weird thing going on. He won't catch that, but he'll catch if the lighting looks good or not. So he's good for something. And he obviously opens up the Funkos whenever we open up Funkos on my channel. So that is another reason why he is there, because he is particular about how the Funkos get opened up. Even though we do open up our Funkos and take them out of the box, he's still particular how they're taken out of the box. So it's a little bit of him being controlling on that end. So that is the burning question, why the hubby is always on the floor. And I love it. I love that he's with me. I love that he supports my channel. It's really great. Okay, next question is, do you live close to Disneyland, and do I have an annual pass? I do live close to Disneyland, like I said, about 45 minutes. I work even closer. I work like 10 minutes away. And no, I don't have a Disney annual pass. So please, if you guys can convince the hubby to get me a Disney annual pass, that would be like the best thing ever, because I've been trying to convince him for years now and he hasn't budged. So yes, that's sad. The other part is, would you ever consider vlogging? I've tried vlogging before. I don't feel like my channel is there yet. I don't feel like I have enough of an interactive and built community that has invested their time in me to vlog. So I will eventually vlog more when you guys want it. But I feel like right now, my vlogs don't do too well. I've tried it before. Let's see. Do you work or only YouTube? Have you ever made videos on how you make your mini ears? Yes, I work. I said that earlier. I wish I only did YouTube. I wish I could be at home and stay home with Cornelius. That'd be like dream goals, but that's okay. I do work. I enjoy my work. And no, I've never made a tutorial because I am a hot mess when I make mini ears. I don't know how these girls make these videos look so nice. Like everything looks perfect. They're putting the ears together. It comes out so great. No, not me. Me, I'm just like, I have hot glue on my hands. I'm like, oh my God, I messed up here, or I'm cutting something and it looks like crap. Like, I'm a hot mess when I make mini ears. So shout out to the girls who can just make it look so effortless. I'm sure a lot of editing is involved, but still, I don't know if you can edit as much as I mess up. Next question is, has your character, sorry, the wind, we have the door open because the camera's getting hot and the door is shutting on its own. Next question is, has your favorite Disney character changed since you were a kid to now? I would say yes, especially princess-wise. My favorite princess when I was little was Snow White, and now it's not so much. I still like her, but she's not my favorite anymore. And I think another of my favorite characters was Dumbo, which I still really like Dumbo, so that really hasn't changed. But princess, yes. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna stop here. I do have more questions, but I think this video is already way too long and I probably lost some of you at this point. You're probably like, Rita, I'm done. So I apologize for making this video so long. If you are still sticking around with me, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much. I may do a part 2 if you guys want more questions. Definitely leave them down below and I can totally make a second part to this. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. comment down below any questions you have or any questions that you want to just like, you want to answer yourself that I answered, like so I can get to know you guys. I would love to do that. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.